Fit like Abdi, Danny Boy here, and welcome back to the Round 7 Race 2 of Transport Fever at the races here in beautiful Loch Lomond. It is the turn of the Steam Haulage race, and they are all set to go, should be. Danoon, and Danoon. Yay! So they are all set to go. In the last race, the 003 defeated all. Well done. The A4 finished second because of its decent top speed, but ain't so great at hauling. So it might not do so well here. Spoiler alert, I would say this man here, your New York City Super Hudson, probably gonna win it. But without further ado, we shall get them started. So off they go, listen for the whistles. Nice. We have actually replaced the Class 7 with the Class 9. Which I need to... Ooh, it's down as Train 1. It should be down as Class 9. Because the Class 9 also has the top speed of 90 miles per hour, but it is slightly better at the old haulage. It is actually a freight train, so a 90 mile an hour freight train is pretty decent. Obviously it doesn't have the pulling power of something like a big boy, but it's got the speed. So this man though is the master so far. It just pulls so good. And away it goes. Probably going to be undefeated for the rest of the race. We'll bring up the rest of them though. We have our 003. Our Class 9 is actually in third. Well done. The Norfolk and Western actually doing good there. And this might do good in this race if it can get up to its top speed. Now the 18201, I've yet to figure out if it's an express train or a freight train because it seems to be quite poor at both single unit races and the haulage. Not entirely sure why that is. Beautiful train as well. Beautiful model. Loving this skull and crossbones. Which means what? If this might be extremely hot for some reason. Now, is this water in here or is this coal? I'm not sure. Anywho, away it goes. Jump on board with our 003 here. In second is the Class 9 still in third. It is. They are approaching the top speed, or the Class 9 is approaching its top speed. Norfolk and Western could pass it here. But Super Hudson is away already as they head on towards Dumbarton. Been to Dumbarton. Also been to Greenock and have been to Dunoon. I've been to Port Glasgow. Where else have I been? Not been to Balmaha. I've been to Inverbeg. Loch Goilhead? No, I don't think I've been there. Or no, I think I might have been there. I've definitely been to Dunoon. But there you have it. So, just a little... just having a little memory, a little nostalgic moment from days of my past. But anywho, the race is continuing, and it looks like the 003 is going to do well. Again, as I said, a much more fluent course this time. There is a part where they will have to go slow. There's some little tight turns. We'll keep an eye, we'll pay more attention to the race this time. Sort of while I carry on explaining stuff again, like I was in the last race. So I think I was at the point where the YouTube schedule, I was sort of wanting to get games sort of played and move on to sort of new games. Not that I'm fed up with the ones I'm currently playing. It's just something I would like to do. My work schedule is going to be mad next year. I'll be away quite a lot, which is both kind of crap and good, because one, crap, in the way that I probably won't get as much videos recorded, and there'll be times where I'm away for a long spell where it might be a week or two with no videos, which is going to suck. And on the good side, I get paid a lot of money for being away, so it's the plus side. So next year, gonna be busy. Something else I wanted to speak about was the new Article 13 law that was passed in the European courts. So this May, once it comes to March, when that law comes into effect, I've read up about it. Actually, when I was offshore that last time, it was a few days where I had nothing to do, so I read up about it. So basically, if you're in the European Union, even things like memes or GIFs, anything that's copyrighted, music, movie clips, computer games, you'll need to have the permission of the people that made it first before being able to use it. This will shut down a lot of channels. Those who are like well-established channels that do it for a living, they should be fine. They'll be able to pay for the licenses to do this. My channel might shut down. One of the things my friend said to me, that this was like my hobby. Now, the only other thing I do is play golf, and anyone who's played golf will tell you that it is extremely time consuming. It takes a few hours to play a decent round of golf, maybe less if you are better than others. I've been playing it since I was like 14. I started golf. I played a lot in my sort of teen years. I had a car accident and I busted one of my arms. Well, I busted the entire right side of my body when I was 21. And then I stopped playing for a long time, and now I've sort of picked it up again. I'm nowhere near as good as I was previously, but I am getting there. Obviously in Scotland, winter is cold. You go to sort of like winter greens, winter mats. I don't like to play on that, so I very often, unless I'm abroad somewhere, play golf in the winter. And it is extremely cold. It's always mega windy, and it's always raining. Sometimes the odd bit of snow, so it's not great. But anywho, anyone that's played golf will tell you that golf is expensive. It's an expensive sport. Once you've bought a decent set of clubs, trolleys, buggies, golf bags, golf balls, if you lose a lot of them, fees for playing on courses, membership fees if you're a member of a golf club. The golf club where I stay, when I was a junior, when I first started, I think it was £70 a year. Now the course where I live is well known. I think it was definitely one of the first 5, I can't even remember, I should know this, one of the first 5 golf courses ever created in the world. It is a very difficult course. It's my home course, and I hate playing it. It is actually really difficult to play, or I find it difficult. And the only times I ever won competitions is when I played away from the course that I normally play in, because everything else just seems so much easier. I've played St Andrews a few times. That's expensive, and first couple of times didn't do so good. The last couple of times I actually did better. I think when you're playing that course, you sort of have this weird nervousness, sort of pressure feeling to try and do good. Really, what you need to do is just play it and have fun. Just enjoy yourself. You're playing in the oldest golf course in the world. Lots of people around the world will never have that opportunity, fortunately, because I stay within a couple hours of it. I do, so if you ever play at St Andrews, my advice to you is just to play it and have fun. Even if you're yourself, don't feel pressure to play good. Even the professionals do crap at St Andrews, so it's a hit or a miss. But he was saying that because he plays golf as well, that golf is expensive. And that's my sort of pastime. My pastime sport. Doing YouTube, playing video games is my sort of pastime hobby. I've played video games since, I think because I was born in the late 80s, my father got us an Amstrad. It was like a very old PC. We also had like the Sega Master System 1 and 2, Sega Mega Drive, pretty much every console up till now, apart from Xbox. Sorry Xbox fans, it's just something that I hate. I hate that stupid damn wackadoo controller with a million buttons in it, and half of them do nothing. So here we are. Here's the 003, the Super Hudson. It's in this slow section now. Basically, I just mapped this bit of rail to this stretch of road. So this goes very slow. And we'll see it as they head through here. Down to 45, he's down to 34. So it might give slower trains like the Class 9 a chance to catch up on these two. The A4 is coming in at a hell of a speed the inside there. How are you managing that? Ah, now you're slowing down. Okay, so back to the hobby. The hobby is gaming on YouTube. I love doing YouTube, recording these videos, speaking to people from all over the world. It's one of the reasons why I do my actual real job that I do for a living. I get to travel all over the world for free. The downside is I have to work when I get there, but you get to meet new people and experience new cultures, and it's great. It's the same with YouTube. So I do like doing this, and as my friend pointed out, gaming, like my PC was very expensive. I think I spent around £3,000. It's probably about $2,800 or something. Actually, probably more. Now that I come to think about it, I should really add it up. I should actually put my PC specs up on the channel. I will do that. Another thing I have to do is create a Steam sort of mod list for the Transport Fever USA map. I will do that at some point. But as you pointed out, gaming is expensive. You need decent internet. You need a good gaming PC. You need a PlayStation. You need an Xbox. You need to buy games. You need to buy season passes and stuff to play those games online. And it does sort of add up. So he said that when this Article 13 comes along in March, sort of test the waters, see what is actually happening, if channels are getting wiped out left, right, front and centre, and it's going to be sort of very hard to procure licenses and things to do let's plays and games, or expensive, then maybe give it a miss. But he says that he advised me that I should keep doing it because it's something that I like. I'd be extremely bored otherwise. There's not much to do in the town where I'm from. As I said, there is golf. A lot of people actually go surfing. It's not like Hawaii surfing or California or Australia. Some of the waves you get there, but it's okay, it's something to do. Minus the fact that the water's about -10, so you need to have bones of steel to do that. A wetsuit will only preserve so much heat from your body. It gets very cold very fast, especially if you're sitting waiting for waves. It's like torture, but it is fun. So he said that I should test the waters when this sort of time approaches in March. Put out the feelers, maybe contact Urban Games and some other people, see if I could continue to play their games without the consequences of being sued or taken to court, blah blah blah. Which would be nice. I would like to keep going, but we'll just have to wait and see. Another thing is, like, even if channels are being destroyed, like, we won't be able to watch an American YouTuber. As far as the way I've sort of sussed it out is, like, we wouldn't be able to watch someone from America or Australia play a let's play or a clip from a movie or upload a meme if they're using something that's copyrighted and they don't specifically have the right to do so. So YouTube's going to block that, apparently, for people in the EU. I don't know how they're going to do it. I did see that the current CEO of YouTube and that, they did fight bravely in order to get this sort of Article 13 sort of knocked in the head, but obviously they failed. And so we'll just have to wait and see. The way things are going in the UK right now with Brexit and all that nonsense, I actually said to my girlfriend, I think it was a month ago, that I would like to leave. Seriously, I'm just getting fed up. As probably most people in the UK are getting fed up. It's on the news every day, and it doesn't matter which way you cut it, there's never any good news about it. It's basically like Europe is screwing Britain. Now, in my opinion, if you want to leave something, you should just be able to leave. If I did not want to become a member, if I want to cancel my membership for the golf club I play in, I should be able to say, no, look, I'm done, and leave. And that's it. Not have to pay extra or take penalties and restrictions. It's just nonsense. Something I'm totally sick and fed up of. And I did actually say to my girlfriend, I would actually love just to leave, just to get out of here, just to get rid of all this nonsense. Maybe go away and live somewhere else for a couple of years and then come back. My cousin, she's originally from Canada. She stayed over there. She moved over to the UK because she met a guy from London. They got married, they had kids. She stayed in London, she loved it. And then sort of Brexit came along, and just the way things were going in the UK, they just thought, nah, screw it. So they up and left, and they moved to Canada. And I was speaking to her a couple of months ago, and they won't be coming back. They've had enough. Basically, they think the UK is just gone totally down the toilet bowl, and they're having a great life in Canada. So, good for them. But we'll just have to wait and see. So, I've sort of gone off topic. I was speaking about the YouTube schedule. Now we're speaking about moving country altogether. But no, we'll have to wait until March to see what happens. Even if I could get a license just to play from Urban Games, just to play Transport Fever, I absolutely would. There's so much you can do with this game. I would like to do my EPEC challenge using the New Industries mod, the DLC that I put the video up for on the 2nd of January. I would like to do a European playthrough and download all the mods for Europe, even though of which there are a lot. I would love to do a UK map playthrough, France, Germany, Holland, Japan, something. There's so much you can do. Urban Games, I did see, were in the progress of creating another game. I don't think it's going to be like the next version of this. I think they'll go with something different and maybe then come back to something like this later. But they did do an excellent job at this. There's so much you can do with this game. It's awesome. It's the closest thing to me of Transport Tycoon of old, and I loved that game. I used to play that game. I was basically a kid. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just loved creating bus routes and train routes. Even my mother said to me, she was like, you should do something with logistics or transport. Start your own haulage company, bus company, something. Because even as a kid, I loved doing stuff like that. And this is the closest thing to Transport Tycoon that I have came across, and I love it. Oh my god! Okay. So we got sidetracked there. Right, you sir, turn around. Right, so the New York City J3 finished first. Well done, sir. Our 003, again, top 2. The legend that he is. Right, we're going to stop you. Now, our Class 9 is currently 3rd. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Well done, Class 9. How did you manage to do that? You should have been paying attention to this guy. Right, you stop. You two go. So the Class 9 finished 3rd. Holy crap. Really? There's a lot of areas where these trains can get up to top speed and no one managed to beat it. Well done. I'm extremely proud of you, sir. I think swapping the Class 7 for the Class 9 was probably a better choice. Whoa, somebody's escaping. No. So Norfolk and Western in 4th. Well done. It moved up a place. The A4 did not do so good. As advertised on its own, great top speed. When hauling things, not so much. And last but not least, our 18201. Well, I've not really found a course that suits this yet. In fact, that's a lie. The very first at the races we did, I do believe this thing finished first on the singles. But that Alps map, or the Gotthard line map, was extremely fluid. There was very little places where trains had to slow down. So it did well. But it just seems to be finishing last or second last. I'm surprised the Norfolk and Western managed to get up into 4th, but well done to it. So there you go. Again, I just spoke absolute gibberish throughout the whole race. It's just like I'm using these as a sort of way to sort of explain how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking about for the channel for next year. I do apologise for severe lack of race commentary, but the races are still pretty good nonetheless. We're getting some surprising results. How the hell did you finish 3rd? I can't believe it. Anyway, that's going to be it for the Steam races. We'll head over to the points and to the championship points and see how they're getting on in the penultimate race here. I think, if memory serves, it's basically a punch up between the Germans and the Americans. Although the British might have scraped a few points there to get them sort of close. We'll have to have a look and see. So, here we go now. So, at the end of race 2, the New York City Super Hudson getting first again there. It seems to be the master at the haulage. The 003 getting second. The Class 7 surprisingly getting a 3rd. The Norfolk and Western as well surprisingly getting there up into 4th. The A4 in 5th, and last but not least the 18201. So that's it for the race. We'll go to the train championship and see how the trains stand, and then we'll head over to the actual countries championship. So here we are at the train championship. The BR003 is still well in front. It's about 8 points in front, and with only one race to go, it would seem as though it's probably going to be undefeated up there. It's just kept enough points up there to stay in the lead. The New York City J3 up there with 68 points in second. The A4, who was down at the bottom to start with, due to the fact that we were running the Urban Games version of the A4 and not the Kilocans modded version. It's climbed up to 3rd, so it's done well. The Class 7 and the 9 has done well as well, because it only has a top speed of 90. It's by far the slowest train, but it's still managing to beat then Norfolk and Western J3 in the 18201, who are both last and second last. So that's it for the train championship. We'll head over to the countries championship and see how the standings look there. Right, now this is the countries championship. Now the USA has taken the lead. It's got 103 points. Germany is closely behind with a 99, and Britain are still in contention with a 95. So it will go down to the last race to actually see where they sort of end up. It could be very interesting. So even though the single trains may be done and dusted, I think the BR003 probably won't be beaten, but for the countries championship it's still anybody's game, so we'll have to wait and see how they get on. As long as the 003 manages to get first and second in both races, it should be okay. Even though the BR18201 often finishes last, it should still be good. So it'll be up to Britain to sort of pull something out of the hat to try and get back in it at the end. But that is going to be it for the Steam races. As always, if you did watch this and you would like to leave a like, comment or dislike, please feel free to do so. And if there is more you would like to see in the future, then hit that subscribe button. But I've been Danny Boy. This has been Transport Fever at the races at Loch Lomond, and I will catch you later.